What's up, YouTube? Dyer here. Yeah, I know I've been on a bit of a hiatus. I'm sorry, guys. Life's been busy. I'm sure you can all relate. Um, but I wanted to get this video out before the holidays, before Black Friday shopping. I don't know what's going to go on sale or whatnot, but I just want to make a list of some tools that I've really enjoyed and maybe can help you all out a little bit, and who knows. Anyways, yeah, just want to say I think the viewership's been great. Been liking a lot of the comments and the interactions and stuff I've been having. Everyone's real cool, and I appreciate that. But yeah, let's get down into it. Kind of start it off. I'm going to start from like cheapest to most expensive. All right, let's get it going. All right, yeah. So one of the first things is this. This is kind of a wild card. I don't think a lot of people know about these. I found out about these from an auto detailer, but these are plastic razor blades made by Shark, and these are made in the USA. And I believe there's only one other brand that makes plastic razor blades in the USA, and I forget their name right now. The difference is that theirs are double-sided, and these are shaped just like a conventional razor blade, but they're plastic. And trust me, these things are awesome. I love using them. I use them all the time for anything. I mean, basically, if I gotta scrape anything, I usually go to these. Unless I know it's real safe to use like metal, like on glass you can use metal, but or something you just don't care about that much, you can use metal. Don't care if you scratch it, but these things are amazing. They they're plastic, so they're not going to mar stuff up. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to do this, but you could use them on an engine block, like clean a valve cover gasket or something like that. I didn't say that, but maybe I've done that. I don't know. But yeah, these are awesome. I love them. I use them for scraping things all the time. They're not just good for cars. They're good for around the house. They're good for stickers. They're great for everything. Granted, they are plastic, so they are kind of basically like a one-time use thing for most scenarios. You're going to damage them real bad after you're done scraping. I just chuck them and I get more. I buy them in bulk, so they're not too bad. But yeah, they're kind of pricey for plastic razor blades, but I love these things and I use them all the time. I would highly recommend them. I use the Shark ones. I have tried the Chinese random razor blades that are all over Amazon stuff, and they are crap. They don't compare to these at all. And these are the first plastic razor blades I ever used, and I stuck with them. And then I tried some Chinese ones. Just because they came with like a razor blade holder that I was using, and they are no good. I mean, compared to these, they are terrible. So you got to get these made by Shark. They are fantastic. At least try them out. I love them. Next thing up, I'm sure you have probably heard about this, but if you haven't, mini pocket pry bars. I think these are probably one of the best tools to come out in the past 20 years, honestly. Like, these things are amazing. I use it for everything. Used to use screwdrivers a lot, right? We used to use screwdrivers a lot as pry bars, but since these things came out, I kind of always grab this, and I kind of always have it on me, especially working on cars. It's in my pocket sleeve for sure. But even doing things around the house and things like that, they're useful. I think anybody in any trade could find a use for a plumber, electrician, anybody, carpenter, whatever. It doesn't matter what you do. These things are infinitely handy, and I think everyone should have one in their toolkit. They're really amazing. Homeowners, anyone, they're just so universal. Anytime you need a small little mini pry pick thing, these things are awesome. There's many different styles. Personally, I know some people don't like these, but I actually love them. These are kind of like the same generic ones you find on Amazon as various brands and labels, but I got these ones from JD Tico, and they have the magnet on the top. I like this one the most because it is the narrowest head It's got the most narrow head, as you can see, of this thing. It might not want to zoom in for me, but yeah, it's got the slimmest head compared. These are the Law ones, by the way, and I just find I prefer that slim head for most scenarios that I'm using this tool at. It also has a steeper steeper angle here, which I think is more beneficial personally. And yeah, so I use this one all the time. Like I said, this one's from JDT Co, but there's many of this style on Amazon or whatever. Yeah, I know you can't tell it's JDT Co because the labeling wears off if you sneeze on it. JDT Co, if you're listening, which you're probably not, dude, let's be honest, but if you are, fix it, man. Can you get someone that can do some better etching or get a better machine? I love a lot of the stuff you make, but the etching, the laser engraving or whatever that you're doing on the tools is just not durable enough, man. If you could, I love the logo, if you could find a way to make them more durable, that'd be awesome. I would love it. That's just some advice. But yeah, anyways, mini picks, they're great. I think the Law ones are really great. I think these just generic ones that are everywhere are great. There's a bunch of others out there. I haven't really tried much. I think the Lang ones look really good too. If you're interested in that, the Lang ones. There's Mayhew makes some, but they're kind of very different, very long and stuff. I haven't tried those out too much. Tecton makes some. They look like they'd be pretty good, but I think they also have that long handle. So yeah, there's lots of flavors of these things out. So I don't think you can go wrong with any of them, truthfully. These are just the ones I have. I really like the generic ones actually a lot. So don't be afraid to buy those, in my opinion. Let's see. Here's another thing. So again, I'm just doing like the cheap stuff right now, guys. So this is item number 3. This is a Stubby impact wrench hex shank adapter. This thing is awesome. I use it all the time. I really wish my focus was working better today, but yeah, who makes these? God, I don't even know. But I will update in the comment, in the description, who makes these. I want to say it was Titan. Somebody. I got them on Amazon, but they are awesome. There's no label on them, as you can see. Well, maybe you can't, but yeah, there's no markings on them. I forget who makes them. I think they're Titan, but I will find the link and I will share it with you guys. These are really cool to have, and I put them in the wrong slots. Damn it. Anyways, these things are awesome. Love having them. Since we're talking about hex shank quick adapters, talk about 2 of my other favorites. I don't have a bit. Let me get a bit. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, as I was saying, these are some other favorites. This is a Wera. I forget what they call it, like a Rapidor or something. I don't know. Here is the model number. It is 88941K. They make a lot of variations of this tool, guys. So yeah, just watch out for that. But I think Wera has made the most ideal quick disconnect call it design for bits out of everyone. It's just so intuitive. If you're not familiar with how it works, you know how most call it's, maybe you got to pull back down this direction and then you got to pull your socket out, which actually is exactly how this one works, so I can show you that. Okay, so yeah, you got to pull this down and then you can pull your socket out. Okay, this thing I think has the most intuitive, the most efficient motion. If you're not familiar with this term, there's a term called economy of motion. I know it's used in the guitar world. I think like chefs and stuff use that term as well, but I've heard it from the guitar world. But anyways, basically the idea is, you know, you want to be able to do something with as minimal movement as possible, and that's the best way to do something. It's economy of motion, right? So this thing nails it, because you are gonna have to pull on this hex collet no matter what, but you can pull up, it releases the bit, and so you can just with your hands grab and slide the bit, and this motion can be done so fast, and it's quick insert as well. Quick insert, right? I don't have to touch the collet to insert it. This is the best designed quick release adapter, what do you even want to call these things? They have so many names on the market, in my opinion. From the ones I've tried, and I've tried many of them, I really like this one. It's not impact rated technically. I've used it on an impact. It's also not the most durable thing. I don't know if you guys, let's see if you can, if I can show you that. See, it's got this little, here I'm going to open it up so you can see it even better. It's got this little plastic washer here, and it sits actually on a groove. They have cut a small groove on the back of this shank, and that's where it sits. And as you can see, mine's already got beat up and mashed up. I kind of had to smash it back into place a few times. So durability wise, not the best, but the functionality of it is terrific. I don't see why Wera couldn't come up with a more durable solution to this, but hey, other than that, it's really good. I love it. Strongly recommend getting one of those. Also love this style as well. This is a Diablo. If you don't know, Diablo is Bosch and Bosch is Diablo, and Bosch make a version of this too with blue, if that's your flavor. Also, I've seen Malco designed ones as well. I'm not sure if that's like a licensing thing or what's going on there. But yeah, I've seen this, and I think even Irwin has done this style. I'm not sure what's going on with there, but I love this thing, and they come in various sizes. I think the easiest one to get is a 6 and a 12 inch, and I mean, I think everyone needs a long shaft quick extension once in a while. Damn, there is definitely a innuendo in that sentence. Apologies, but yeah, so this thing is quite awesome. I love it. I don't know, something about it. I just really like how it works. I like the locking feature basically, and it's very easy to operate, and yeah, it's great. Another good one of the quick adapters that I've grown to really like. Coming up, this video is getting too long. I gotta make it shorter. So next up, we got the plastic pry tool. Now, I don't see a lot of people talking about this one, but I use it quite a bit. Yeah, this side is very slim and narrow, and if you wanted to, you can even grind it down a little slimmer. And it's also got this very weird like hook pointy side, which also really comes in handy. I feel like you can't have enough of these style tools. This is from Mueller Kueps, but also Lisle, I think, sells the same exact thing, just in an orange color, which I have somewhere in my toolbox. I have that version as well, and they're identical. And the Mueller's a little more expensive, but hey, I like green, and it's a good tool. It is a wear item though. Eventually you're gonna just mar up this lip, and it's not gonna be a forever tool, but it's a great little pry tool to have. Strongly recommend these. And on the topic of pry tools, we got these ones. I don't see anyone talking about these or I haven't seen anyone do a review about these yet. These are Mayhew Pro Grip, and this isn't a review. This is just like, hey, I recommend these type video right now. I do want to do a full review on them, but I really like them. They come in two different styles. I think probably the U-notch is probably the best style to get if you're gonna get one style. I got both because I wanted to. But yeah, I think you can never have enough these style tools. I got a lot more than this, but these are my newest ones, and I've been using them a lot as my go-to, and they work really good. I like them a lot, and they're made in USA by Mayhew, so yeah, can't complain. It's a good tool. My only complaint would be handle seems a little bit short. I wish it was like half an inch or an inch longer. I got medium sized hands, so, but these are really good tools. Another thing, I don't see this talked about enough. I'm not saying buy this brand, although these have actually worked really well for me. This is the Vis shears, but I think everyone should have some shop shears in their arsenal. These cut through pretty much anything. But they're also precision enough to cut light duty like paper and stuff like that as well, and they're just really handy to have, and these things have cut fantastic. I like this one. This is the Vis brand, but I'm not saying you have to go with this one. Just get a pair of shop shears. I think you can't go wrong. They're really good, so get one of these if you don't have them. Next up, we're going to talk about, this is the newest style spring clamp plier I got. It's labeled IAG, which is not a tool company. I think it's like a Subaru aftermarket tuner company. But it's one of the most popular ones on Amazon, and there's a lot of actually variations of this tool. Same exact tool sold by many different brands, different color handles, etc., etc. But they all seem to have the same design principle, and for all I know, come out the same factory. But it's actually, and it's a cheap tool, but it works really good. So I can't recommend these enough. I just went with this one because it was very popular, and the price is pretty reasonable, and why risk it on some unknown one? Because even though they look the same, my experience has taught me that they are not always made the same. So just stick with what's working for others. Sometimes, you know, works best, but especially a tool like this. But yeah, these things are cool. Really good spring clamp pliers. I think these outdo a lot of the really expensive ones, and I have a review video to come out on this subject whenever I can get around to it. But yeah, love these ones. Also, I have these Gearwrench ones, and these operate a little different. These are locking, which I find sometimes is invaluable. Sometimes you want them to lock. It just helps you, you know, like manage that clamp and push it out of the way, because this is locked in now, and you can just easily, you can kind of just focus on pushing it without worrying about clamping at all, because it's already clamped. But yeah, these are also a great little option. Work really well, and I've come to find out they're better designed than most of the really expensive brands. So yeah, these Gearwrench ones are another great tool to have. These are so cheap, I would invest in both of them, because I hate hose clamps, and I find using these tools makes working with them so much better. So just buy them, you know. Also, you're gonna need one with the cable for like hard to reach areas. But yeah, I would say if you get these in the cable style, you're set. You don't have to worry about buying another hose clamp plier ever again. I've bought a lot of the more expensive ones and been very disappointed. So grab these. Next up, we're going to talk about these Astro swivels. If you're not aware, Torque Test channel just came out with a review on these, and they scored really well. And I mean, for the price, I think these things are awesome. I'm not saying they're the best, but for the money, they're really good. And so yeah, if you're looking to add some universal sockets to your arsenal and you're on a budget, get the Astros, or just get the Astros anyways. I don't know. I mean, you know, I do think it's probably worth buying a tool truck brand of this if you're professional, and there's some socket sizes you use a lot, like maybe you use 10s and 12 all the time, and so these wear out. Then maybe get that particular socket in the tool truck version. But you know, for your oddball size you don't use a lot, why spend that insane amount of money on them? I don't know, you know, to each your own. But these are very good for the money. Really impressed with these, and Torque Test channel was too, and that just kind of made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside about them, because I knew that I liked them. It was good to hear that they found them good as well. Another tool that I mean guys, I probably use this tool more than any other tool in the shop, and that is these collapsible, what the hell is that? Collapsible EZRed magnetic trays. Now there's a lot of knockoff versions of these on Amazon and stuff now. Some are good, some are bad. I've tried a lot of them. I actually have a collection of these things. I have like too many of these because I love them. I'm addicted to them, and I've tried a lot of the off-brand ones, and I still think the EZRed brand is still the best one. That's just my experience. Your mileage may vary. They do cost a little more, and they only sell them in a set of 3 rather than all the other brands are doing 4. I don't know why. EZRed, come on, give us a 4th color, please. I've actually took some of the ones I had and made a 4th color with them. What makes the EZReds better? Well, I'll get into that. So, for the most part, they all kind of have weak magnets, except I did try a Duratech brand that had a stronger magnet, and then I found out why they kind of have weak magnets. Because the problem is the magnet's too strong. You can't take your bolts out the bottom of this. It becomes impossible because of the shape and stuff. It just makes it actually makes it worse. So you would think a stronger magnet is better, but it's not. But what make the EZRed the best is because they have a textured bottom here, which means when there is a nut or bolt in there, it's much easier to get your fingers around and grab that bolt and pull it out, because it's not a totally flat surface, because it is texturized. Because it's texturized, A, the bolt's not going to move around as much, and B, it helps you get your fingers underneath and grab the bolt, because it's not, I don't know, it just works better against the magnet. I hope I explained that well, but yeah, this isn't a full review. I just want to highlight that these things, I love these things. I use them a lot. Some people may hate them, but I'm addicted to them. It's how I keep organized. You know, I take a part off, I throw the bolts in here. Take another part off, I grab another one of these, and I throw the bolts in there, so on and so forth. And I keep all my bolts organized in these little trays, and it's just, I love them. So, next up, now we're getting to the more expensive stuff. This Vessel electric screwdriver. I'll be honest, at first, like you guys, I thought this thing was a gimmick. I did not want to buy this thing at first. I was like, that is stupid. No way am I using that. But then I went out. I don't know why, but one day I just decided to try it, and I bought it, and I fell in love with the thing, and it is awesome. Basically, and I want to set expectations right here. This is not an electric screwdriver in the formal sense. It is not a drill. It is not replacing your impact driver. So what the hell is it for? Well, it replaces, go figure, a regular screwdriver, because it's about the same size as a regular screwdriver. It can easily fit in a tool bag, in a tool pouch, except if you're, especially tool pouches, man. If you're wearing a tool pouch, you'll really appreciate this thing, because the size and weight is almost comparable to a manual screwdriver, yet it's powered, and that's where its awesomeness really shines through. If you're an electrician and you're working on a lot of electrical boxes, you'll love this thing, because electrical boxes, lots of screws, not a lot of torque. This thing works great. Now, also understand how to use this. You break it free, like using like a manual screwdriver, much like, you know, our cordless ratchets. You're supposed to break the bolt free by hand, and then you power through the rest, right? Same thing. When you like screwing stuff in, you know, first you just kind of hand tighten a little bit using the manual method. Once it's threaded, once you know you're threaded, then you drive it home with the electric part. And I have used this tool for everything. Maybe it's not going to be the #1 tool working on cars, but I could definitely see having its place in a dash work, or even, for example, you know, some air boxes are sealed behind screws, so you don't, and this thing has low power, so you don't really run the risk of stripping screws out so bad with it. It's great for disassembling like electronics, laptops, small electronics. You got kids, it's great for kids' toys, taking apart kids' toys because they break them or they need batteries or whatever. Basically, it's a disassembly, reassembly tool. It's wonderful at anything you would use a small screwdriver for. It's great at. It's great for just low torque applications that use screws. It's wonderful. Like I said, it replaces a screwdriver, and that's what it does best. And you know, this ball grip design in a manual, I have a manual, like a regular vessel ball grip screwdriver, and I hate it. I was like, it's so stupid. But in this factor with the electric motor, it makes so much more sense, because this design really helps you, you know, break, torque something free. But rather than spinning this awkward bulbous shape, because it's electric, now you can do the fast spinning with the electric bit. And now this design makes so much more sense to me. This is a wonderful tool, and I love it, and I really don't want to give it up. Anytime I need a screwdriver now, I grab this thing. That's how much I like it, and I thought I would hate it. So really cool tool. There's many versions of it. I'm using the multi-speed one. I mean, kind of up to you how you want to do it. I also have the high-speed one, and I have this multi-speed one. I like the multi-speed one because I think it has the right blend of torque and speed. In the, I forget what setting it is, but basically its highest setting I feel like is a sweet spot for this tool. The high speed, in some areas it kind of spun too fast. It was difficult to control, but also it had like no torque, so I didn't like that one that much. If I were you, I'd either go for like the low torque one or this multi-mode. That's my opinion, but the high speed one's great too. It just depends on your preference, I think. Last tool of the day, and I know right now this thing's on a Black Friday sale, and I absolutely love this tool. What is it? Well, it's a Bosch screwdriver. It is a multi-head screwdriver, so you can take off this. Basically, you can turn it to like a 90 angle, and you can make all these weird, funky head shapes and stuff. Like I said, this isn't a review. I'm not like getting into the nitty-gritty of it, but I primarily use it as a screw gun. Electric screwdriver. I think everyone should have an electric screwdriver. These things are fantastic for so many different scenarios. And I think this Bosch design is really one of the best, most appealing designs on the market, because this is 12 volt. It's super compact. You can buy it with a kit that allows you to be adaptable and make it do these weird, awkward angles if you need that. And I have, now that I have the tool, I've found situations where I needed to use the heads and adapt and hit weird, awkward angles. I never thought I really needed a drill like that, because I don't like install cabinets for a living, but I have found a lot of use for it. But I primarily use it as a screwdriver because, right, like basically what this thing does is it works like a drill, and depending on the head that you have on it, with this collet head, okay, it takes your regular quarter hex shank bits. Instead of a drill, you know, you don't have to tighten the chuck. You can quick change bits on this, but it operates like a drill. Well, why does that matter? Because of a clutch, man. Okay, if you have a scenario, which is very common, where you don't want to strip or destroy what you're drilling into, you want to use that clutch. And I think the clutch mechanism is so slept on with drills. It's really handy, and it's especially handy when you got this quick hex collet. I use this way more than I use a little impact driver. Yeah, now that I have this tool, I use this way more than an impact driver. I was using it. Where's this tool shine, you ask? Okay, this thing is best for this scenario: disassembly and reassembly. If you're disassembling something and reassembling it, that's where you really want to use this tool. What do I mean? What do I mean by that? Well, I mean appliances. Okay, you're trying to repair a dishwasher. It's got a lot of little screws. This thing's great for taking apart and putting that stuff back together. And with the clutch, you don't have to worry about stripping those screws when you put them back. Okay, I used to use impact drivers for this, and you know, even with the delicate hand and stuff, sometimes you're tired, you're in an awkward position, you know, you're bent really weird, and it's super narrow, and you lose that sense of control, and so you end up overstripping stuff. But that's because you're trying to use your human body. You can let the tool, let the mechanism do the work. With the clutch, you don't have to worry about it. You can be as ham-fisted as you want. That clutch is going to stop and prevent you from damaging things. And this is super handy. Like I said, disassembly, reassembly of anything, really. Appliances, cars, right? If you're working dash stuff and you got lots of screws, this thing will be fantastic. You don't have to worry about over driving a screw and stripping that plastic. Same thing like in the engine bay of cars. A lot of parts now are plastic, right? So, and if you got screws and or even small bolts in there, you can reassemble with this and put it on a real low clutch setting, and you don't have to worry about over torquing things and cracking and splitting that plastic, or just, you know, wearing out those fastener holes because they're drilled into plastic. This thing's just wonderful. And if you got a house or a home or apartment, I don't know, you live somewhere, right? And you know how it is today. Everything's IKEA, particle board, furniture. This thing is great for putting together that furniture stuff, right? Because of that torque, again. And yes, you can use a drill for that stuff. But the thing is, the drill always has that chuck that sticks out. It's just more awkward. And it's harder to change out bits on a drill, you know? It just is. They don't change out as quickly. Now, the only thing I don't like about this tool, and I'll just talk about that real quick so everyone's aware, it does not have a quick change collet. You can't quick insert, and you need, yeah, you can't quick insert. That's, I don't know, something's going on. It doesn't like that bit right now. What the fuck? I don't know why. This is kind of the first time I had that problem. But anyways, I usually rock it with, in combination with the Wera that I so elegantly misplaced. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I usually rock it with the Wera bit. So really easy to change out bits when I do that, and the Wera is quite short, you know. So yeah, that's what I like to do, and that's how I run this tool most of the day. And I'm not saying buy the Bosch one. DeWalt makes a really fantastic 12-volt screwdriver, electric screwdriver. Milwaukee makes one too. I don't think it's the best design, but hey, if you don't want to buy the Bosch one, you want to buy the Milwaukee one, I'm sure the tool will work absolutely perfectly fine for you. I just think this Bosch one is a really neat design, and because it doubles as a screwdriver, electric screwdriver, but also it does all the weird angle drill bit stuff, that sells it for me. And that's my hot take. It's not a full review. I'm not going to show you all the adapters and stuff, but real quickly I can just kind of show you how that works. So this part unlocks and you can put different attachments onto it if you're not familiar with that, how that works. So you can imagine I can put a regular chuck collet on here. I could also put an adapter that makes it turn 90 degrees, and then I could put a chuck collet that way and it would be a 90-degree drill, etc., etc. So I've actually found a lot of use for that feature, which I didn't think I would. I mainly bought it because I wanted a electric screwdriver, and this thing was on a fantastic sale for $130 with 2 batteries, which is what it is right now. So if you want to try it out, man, $130, you get 2 batteries, a charger. I don't know, kind of can't. I just feel like for that price, it doesn't hurt to give it a try. But I love the tool, and maybe you guys will too. Anyways, I hope you appreciate this, guys. Let me know what you think. I'll post links and everything, as I said. And again, this one's going to be a little rough. Sorry, it's unedited, raw. I'm not going to do any of that today. And I know I ran a bit long, but I hope you found it interesting. Thank you all. Goodbye.